And what is going on, everybody? Welcome to a special edition of Chris Akin Presents. I, of course, am Chris Akin, and I am pumped up to bring this one to you guys today. One of my all-time, and I do mean all-time favorite bands, the mighty Skinlab, are back. They have a brand new single, which we are going to debut the video for tonight. I guess the single's not brand new at this point. It's been kicking fucking ass over there on XM for a few months now, and Jose Mangan over there has been loving it. I've been loving it. Anybody that's a fan has been loving it. It's just proven that there's a lot of life back in the band, and we're going to find out about that. We're going to find out what's going on with the band, member changes, maybe a new album. We'll find all of that out. But here to talk all about it is the main man himself, Steev Esquivel of Skinlab. Steve, how are you, man?
Good, brother. How you doing, man?
Good to talk to you, man. It's always good to talk to you. You know,
Yes, sir.
it's funny, man. Is you kind of not threw me in as a member of the family a couple of months
Yes,
ago
sir.
online because me and you have been working a lot, kind of behind the scenes to help bring Skinlab back to the attention, I guess. Because that's what I do is raise attention. And I'm telling you, man, it is one of the premier moments in my world, man, because I love this band. And as you know, I have always loved this band. So it's great to be part of this, man. It really is.
Yeah. Well, hey, I really appreciate all the love you've been giving us, and the support and the sharing your knowledge with us, man. It's great, and to know that we've got someone on board who's been with us a while. I know we met a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it's great to see you doing what you're doing, and we appreciate you sharing your fan base with us and everything, brother. It's awesome.
Absolutely, man. Well, dude, before we even talk about new video and the band and all that stuff, I'm looking at the numbers and I cannot even fathom that it has been almost 30 years, man. I mean,
Yeah.
Bound, Gagged, and Blindfolded is what, 28 years old at this point?
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Who would have? We had no idea that we'd still be a band these many years long. So. I mean, what? I think we started the band when I was 24. On my birthday, on my 24th birthday, my wife went out and bought me a half stack and a bass, and that was the start of Skinlab.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's really cool so many years later to be able to do this, still talk about it, making music.
Hell
And like
yeah.
we were just talking about, waking up.
Yeah. You wake up, you're happy every single day, man. And
Yes,
dude,
sir. Put it in gear and go.
hell yeah. Well, I know this, man, and I remember distinctly when this record came out, just because I was very fresh into the publishing world, kind of. I was, doing my own little music mag and whatnot. And I remember it came from Century Media. Back then they used to send the little cardboards. They used to send the little cardboard shufflers that could get lost really easily on a desk if it wasn't good. It was just lost. And I just remember that was right at the same time that I was just immersed. My own world had about 3 bands that I was listening to: Sepultura, Typo, and Machine Head. And that's like, and maybe a little Fear Factory, but that's all I listened to all the time. And I remember distinctly, it was the more things change. I was listening to it. And then I heard your record and I was like, holy shit, this is the next Machine Head. I was like, it's right here.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people never why those fans didn't gravitate as much as they should to Bound, Gagged, and Blindfolded, but it's still just a tremendous record, man.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. I mean, we didn't get the Roadrunner deal that was originally laid out for us, but we ended up signing with Century Media. And I don't think if we didn't sign with Century Media, we wouldn't have gone down the road. We had a pretty rough road, but we've had a pretty luxurious road too, man. Since Century Media took care of us, man, we had all, not all the money a band can need, but we really did. We were on tour buses, we were on tours, and now that I'm smarter, I mean, shit, they bought us on every tour there was.
Sure.
So it was a great time, and we're very proud. It was a band that me, Mike, and Paul had no idea. Like I said, 30 years later, we're still going, and yeah, actually, we have a special. There's so many things going on with Skinlab,
Right.
right now that it's fucking really awesome. That the 12th of this month is actually our first time ever participating in Record Store Day.
Nice.
So yeah, so Bound Gagged is being re-released, uh, double vinyl. Put out by my boy Marco Barbiera, our old
Oh
president from
yeah.
Century Media, and
Mm-hmm.
his label Salem Rose. Um, Badass package, man. They fucking knocked it out of the park. So that comes out the 12th, and today we've debuted our new video, and
Yes.
then a couple weeks our first record comes out again. So it's this is pretty cool time, pretty exciting. You know,
Absolutely.
yeah,
So man, let's go to where the band is today, and then we'll play a little music and remind
okay.
people of who you guys are. But obviously, it has been a little while since we've heard from Skinlab. Unless my math is wrong, it's been about 6 years since Venomous came out. Catch us up to date. Where's the band been? What brought you back? I know there's some changes. Tell us all about that.
Well, Venomous was what we considered to be our comeback record after
Mm-hmm.
so long. I personally took some time off to let my kids play soccer and join Cub Scouts
Sure.
um, and do things that kids are supposed to do. Both of my boys were born and raised on a tour bus, and it was time to put on the brakes. So taking some time off, 7 years we put out The Scars Between Us, actually,
Mm-hmm.
and which was a weird time for metal, weird time for music, and just kind of getting it out there. I think all the different formats and everything were really just kind of competing with each other, and I think with the online stealing and pirating and stuff like that, it kind of put that record well below the radar of most people. So that put us back another few years, and we put out what we probably thought was our best records today at Venomous.
Mm-hmm.
And we were ready to fucking tour. We were ready to tour the world, and the pandemic shut us down, man. We were out on tour with King 810, and we did our last show in Atlanta, and we got the call like, "Hey guys, you better get home." I got the call because I was flipping houses at the time.
Right.
I got the call from my company saying, "Hey, you need to get home. We're shutting the company down." And at the same time, we're reading all these, news bits and everything. So we literally raced home to kind of change life.
Right.
And so that record pretty much got shelved. I mean, I feel like it got swept underneath the carpet, which was pretty heart wrenching. It
Sure.
took its toll on the members. Snake ended up leaving. He put a lot of hard work into that record. That was our first record that we recorded with Ulrich. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but Snake engineered it, and tough blow to the soul, to the ego, to everything. When you're something you worked on so hard gets shelved.
Sure.
So we, just like everyone, we went into kind of hiatus mode until the pandemic settled, or the world opened back up, and we told ourselves that we weren't going to be one of those bands. Skinlab we're a metal band, but we're very punk rock. We're
Mm-hmm.
very, very punk rock, and that means that there's a lot less more going on with us. We're not out there trying to campaign and fucking sell Skinlab dust masks. That was one thing we did
Right.
not want to do. I didn't want to put my name on that. Not for any political reasons, not for anything like that. I'm right, anyone's wrong, whatever. It was
Mm-hmm.
just we didn't want to sell our band like that. We write music.
Right.
And I thought that was the plan. And some Snake felt like he just had enough and had to bail. So that kind of set me back mentally.
Sure.
My best friend fucking bailed, and fortunate, Marcos and Fabian. I don't know why. I do, because they're down, motherfuckers. They're down for the
Right.
lab, and I'm very fortunate. So We spent the last 4 years picking up the pieces, and my guys, they wanted to tour. Marcos
Right.
wanted to tour. These guys, they want to tour. They're younger, so I put us back on the map, over this last summer, and we've been going ever since. And
Right on.
I told my wife and my kids that I'm giving this one more year for Skinlab to stand on its own 2 feet, and
Right on.
we're doing pretty good. So lots of stuff happening, and pretty exciting times.
There are. It definitely is, and there are a lot of things going on. Tell us a little bit about Angelo Miles, who steps
Yeah.
into the band, because I don't think most people know much about him.
Yeah, no. Uh, Angela was referred to us by my brother Mikey from Snot. Actually,
Okay.
he was in Snot for a little bit. Not too many people know this, but he did the Japanese tour and some other, I think another tour with them. And I think he was, yeah. So Mikey turned us on to him, and we talked and conversed over Facebook and everything, and before we actually met and jammed, and he was just cool as fuck. We went and hung out at the Snot show in Santa Barbara, and we just fucking broed down instantly. um he knows about the lab, and the main thing is his videos of him playing guitar. That
Hmm.
dude knows his fucking guitar.
There you
He
go.
know he knows his guitar, and Skin Lab. I call our music, stoner metal, caveman metal.
Sure.
The sausage fingers we only use. We're not fucking going crazy. This is not polyphia or nothing like that. So our stuff's pretty easy, to learn, but there's little weird quirks, and we wanted someone to, we didn't want to teach it to anyone. And this dude
Hmm.
came in and learned 11 to 12 songs, just killed it. I mean, just came in. I mean, he freaking was in my room making me nervous, like he was on stage. And I was like, dude, you got the gig. Yeah, so we've been broing down for the last couple months and rehearsing. And he's from Oxnard, California.
Okay.
He's Mexican, so I got a whole band full of banditos now. Pretty cool. We got an Italian drummer, we got Marcos is Puerto Rican, and we got two Mexicans in the band now. So
Nice.
we got some soul, man. It's good. We're stoked. So we're gonna start writing. We have two shows. His first shows will be with Snot
Okay.
in the next couple weeks, and then yeah, Colorado and Colorado Springs on the 25th and 26th of this month. And then we're going to buckle. Actually, then we have some festivals in Czechoslovakia. So one of his first shows will be a huge festival.
Right on.
And we're stoked, man. He's excited. We're excited. And I don't know if you could tell, but yeah, I lit up as soon as you asked that question. I was like, oh,
Sure.
yeah. Fuck yeah.
No doubt. Well, Steve, let me ask you this, man. Was there a time at all between when Snake left and now when you actually thought about, you know what, this ain't gonna happen? It's just not. It's not. I'm not feeling it.
No,
Okay.
no. It actually, when Snake left, it actually just fueled my fire. He knows that. He knows
Okay.
that's how I roll, man. This is this is this is my baby. You
Right.
know, all my, it's. I mean, me and Mike Roberts, Paul. I mean, it's their baby too. They still support us. I didn't do this all by myself. You
Sure.
know, but this is one thing I have passion for, and I'm either too stupid to stop, or I'm just, our fans mean so much to me that I just don't want to let them down.
Right.
We went to our first time. Actually, Skin Lab we've been to Czech Republic many times with Machine Head, Grip Inc. and stuff like that. But this is our
Hmm.
first time back in 20 years, and there are generations of people crying, just laughing, cheers and beers. I mean, it was fucking insane, and it really opened my eyes to know that what, there's people that love this band,
Sure.
and we're not giving in. So
Sure. And dude, this is probably the right time because it seems like everybody nostalgia is everything now. And not that you guys are a nostalgia band because you're obviously writing new music, but let's be honest. the 80s has dominated the last 10, 15 years of getting all the, the festivals have been built around the 80s bands. Well, now
Sure.
those bands are all turning 70 years old and clearing the fuck out the way for the 90s bands. And it does seem like a lot of the festivals now are welcoming these bands back. It's probably the exact right time for you to make some new noise with Skinlab, yeah?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I mean, we're very fortunate to kind of still be going, and, bands like Snot coming back,
Yeah.
fucking Acid Bath coming back. And I mean, those are bands that have been huge, they're such huge parts of people's lives, that the new generation doesn't even know. I mean, that half of the music they're listening to was developed from those bands,
Right.
and
No question, man. Well, dude, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We're going to play some Skinlab to get people, we're going to reacquaint them, I guess, some. And I might imagine most that are watching are already aware of you. But I'm going to play the video for Amerikill. So hang tight. This is Skinlab, and we will be back with Steev Esquivel. And then we will talk Flesh Wounds, and we'll play the new video coming up next. So hang tight. Rock out.
Staring at us, there's no religion, no one time for justice. Realize the ugly truth is real. Stand up for what you believe. What about you and you? Abandoned lies taken from a mother. Cold, dead hands of a fallen brother. Too many lies of a bloody hands. Innocent eyes of a bloody hands. You're born trigger. The water in you. You're born trigger. The ugly mind of death will consume you in white and blue. The only difference is between me and you. I'm behind the smoking mirrors of a liar. Fed up of what you believe, I'll die a fucking coward. Too many lies taken from a father. Cold, dead hands of a fallen brother. Too many lies of a bloody hands. Innocent eyes of a bloody hands. You're born trigger. The water in you. You're born trigger. The only bullet I know. Stand up for what you believe. What about you and you? You're born a trigger. You're born a trigger on me. What pull a trigger on you? You're born a trigger. The water in you. You're born a trigger. The only bullet I drop. The only bullet I drop. Too many lies taken from a brother. Cold, dead hands of a fallen brother. Too many lies of a bloody hands. Innocent eyes of a bloody hands. Too many lies taken from a brother. Cold, dead hands of a fallen brother. Too many lies of a bloody hands. Innocent eyes of a bloody hands.
And that is Skinlab. Brutal, man. That song just fucking rips.
Yeah, I love that song. That's actually, we as a band, we directed that video, filmed it ourselves, and then we sent it to Carl, who did Flesh Wounds, and
Right.
he put all the extra stuff in there. So we're pretty proud of that. You know, with Snake, Fabian, like we were on our backs all, you know, we made the whole backdrop with the
Right.
mesh and everything. It was really cool. So pretty proud of ourselves with that one.
Hell yeah, that's good stuff there, man. Well, dude,
That
let's
was at the
get
beginning. I
hell
don't know, go
yeah.
ahead.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, let's move forward to Flesh Wounds, man. Before we show the video, let's talk about it a little bit. You put it out, what, late summer? Is that right?
Yeah, here's the thing. So this is what, you know, and I told you about this before when we were gearing up to start working together, was that, look, Skinlab has always been very punk rock.
Right.
Those, I guess, these behaviors have started, you know, developing within the band over the last maybe 10, 15 years.
Sure.
Because obviously I loved punk rock, but we weren't punk rock when we started. We were very well taken care of. We were spoiled little boys on Century Media, you know what I mean? So I can't really complain too much. But I mean, for the most part, we you know, we worked really, really hard to get that, to get, you know, to where we were with that. And I mean, I'm sorry, you were about to say something else, and I interrupted you.
Well, no, I was asking you about you know, Flesh Wounds coming out in the summer.
Okay, maybe then I brain farted. So as I was telling you, we wanted to do like something, just drop a bomb and not say anything to anyone, and that was our plan. Like, you know, we don't have a label. We are, you know, our Facebook numbers, for some reason, because we're not fucking clickbait fucking band. We don't go out there. We got a rule. Skinlab, no sucky dicky. You know, and that it could be the lack of, you know, the reason for our lack of success, or we know someday be the reason for our success. Who knows?
Right.
I'll go down in flames for it. But, you know, it's we didn't go out and, you know, ask for, you know, what am I trying to say?
You didn't overhype it.
Yeah, we just basically didn't want to tell anyone that we were putting this out, but then we ended up signing with Ulrich, and he pulled my trick on me. So I'm trying to figure out how to explain this, but what I was telling you about, like, you know, Chris, I think we're gonna try to just drop this and then go, yeah, oh, by the way, we have a new single out. Well, he actually remembered us talking about that. So when we signed with him, we were on tour in Czechoslovakia, and I turned on, you know, on Blabbermouth, and there's our new video out. You know, we're like, I mean, excuse me, our new single. It was like, oh shit, it's out. Okay, wow, fucking A. And the excitement of that was fucking amazing, man. So, and it really did. I mean, I feel like it popped. It turned a lot of heads, you know. We've gotten a lot of mileage out of that. You know, like you said, you know, intro, you know, Jose latched onto it, really showed us some love. You've been showing us love. A lot of people have been showing us love. So it's been really cool. We're very stoked, and you know, but the video, we were on tour and on our West Coast tour, and we really didn't even know if we were going to do it. We knew that we were talking with Carl about doing a video, because he's the man. When you're on the West Coast, you always call him, you know, he'll do it. He called me when we're on our way, like I think Bend, Oregon canceled. He's like, dude, I got the space. We're shooting tomorrow. I'm like, what? Dude, I have a guest guitar player on tour right now. He's like, oh, okay, well, sorry for you. We're filming tomorrow. So I'm like, I looked at my band, literally. I said, guys, we're doing a video. We're for Flesh Wounds. Let's do this shit, you know. And big props out to Steve. You know, we obviously he was helping us out on the tour to get through some dates, and he guessed in the video and everything. We got his fingers in there, but it's obviously, you know, the rest of Skinlab. But yeah, you know, it was an opportunity that was placed in front of us, and like anything, we took it, and Carl fucking knocked it out of the park. You know, he's obviously a very well director, and he does a lot of movies and stuff, so he was able to grab some footage from his other projects and incorporate them into the lab video, man. So we're very stoked and very grateful. Huge props, Carl, man.
Yeah, Carl Winter. He is a fantastic director. I just want to stay with Jose just for a second. Were you surprised at how much? I mean, most of it is probably Jose, but some of it, you know, Sirius XM has to be okay with playing it too. And I mean, they play Flesh Wounds a lot. You know, they play it a lot more than I think you probably even expected they would, yeah?
And probably more than I even know, because I have people still to this day sending me screenshots. Um, it's very, very, very cool.
Yeah.
Very grateful. My guys are grateful. It's something we, you know, yeah, Jose's a beast, man. He's the real deal, and he's been a Skinlab fan for a while. And it's funny, we were at a Machine Head show, and we were backstage, and Rob's like, Jose, Steve's got a new band, you got to check it out. And I'm looking at Rob like, dude, what? And he's like, tell him about your new band, Steve. I'm like, ah, shit. And he's like, yeah, but do you have Skinlab? Like, really? He didn't want to hear shit about another
Right.
band. He's like, I want to know when Skinlab's coming. So it was a big surprise, but, you know, we've worked hard for that shit, man. So,
Hell yeah.
and what I like to say is, I think part of the reason why, you know, and it wasn't just Jose, it was, you know, Sean the Butcher, you know, he's a Skinlab fan. And I think it was a lot of the hard work that the old cats, Andrew Sample, and, you know, the old people at Century Media, all the hard work they did, you know, to get Skinlab where we were in the earlier days, because we were on the radio a lot. Those dudes really,
Sure.
you know, they kicked ass for us, you know.
Oh yeah.
So I contribute a lot. I mean, I think it's from a lot of the work, whatever that word is.
Well, dude, and
Defibulized.
yeah, there you go. But you're right, dude. I mean, that old guard, and it's funny, you're throwing names that I haven't heard in years, you know, Marco and Andrew and whatever. But, I mean, back in that day, you know, especially like Slave the Way. I mean, Slave the Way was played a ton. Paleface was played a ton. Look, I had the metal show on WMMS
Know your enemies.
here, and yeah, all those songs. We played the shit out of them. A lot of the reason we played the shit out of them was because Andrew or Marco was ringing us up or sending us an email or something saying, dude, come on, you're already playing Stuck Mojo or, you know, whatever. Play this too, play this too. And we'd play it, and then we would get the same thing. We would get the love on the phones. People were like, who's that band? That was fucking amazing, you know. And that's how it worked then. It's almost like a repeat now. You're doing Flesh Wounds. Sirius X, something's going right at Sirius XM that they keep playing it. Because, believe me, if it was a bag of shit, it would have played twice and been forgotten.
Totally. And we were at, you know, the week that we were added. So what happened is we were debuted on number 12, right? And they gave us a week to pump it up, to move our numbers up, you know.
Okay.
So we worked our asses off, and you know, sucky dicky all over Facebook that week, right? And you know, we didn't make the charts again, but they added us.
Okay.
And I don't know. So just by the grace of God or whatever, you know, something's happening with Skinlab right now, and maybe it's for all the hard work we've done before. New people are hearing about us. Maybe some of our old fans are in positions now, like Jose, to throw us a bone, you know. So, yeah, stoked.
Well, it's definitely due, and it's definitely worth doing. Tell you what, Steve, I think we're gonna wrap this one up. We're gonna play the video here for Flesh Wounds in just a second, but before we do, where is the best place that we could tell people to keep up with you, keep up with Skinlab, you know, socials, etc.?
Yeah, I'm pretty slow at the socials, but you can always reach out, you know, at Skinlab Official, Steev Esquivel on Instagram, Facebook. I'm around. The guys are all around. We're very responsive. Lots of stuff going on, lots of music, lots of projects, booked. Skinlab is actually finally getting festivals. So, yeah, pretty stoked about that.
Dude,
you know?
that's got to be fun, getting on the big stage once again.
Yeah, man. Look, we've always said is just get us to the stage. The rest will do itself. The rest will make itself happen. You know, there's something about Skinlab when we do get on stage. We're a little bit different than everyone else, man.
Yeah, well, and look, as somebody that has seen Skinlab a bunch of times, I can tell you, I don't care where you see you. You know, I mean, I've seen you in as small of a stage as the old Peabody's Down Under here in Cleveland, which had like 150
Wait, with one
people.
Person or 200? Which one was that?
It wasn't the one person one.
Oh,
it was
shit. Thank you.
It was the 200 people one, but I mean, even that when you guys come out on the stage, you don't play like you're playing in front of a few people. You play like you're playing in front of a Metallica crowd. You know, I mean, that's just the way you guys have always done it. Full
Our
blast.
motto has always been one more than one is all we ask for.
That's
You
right.
know, 30 years, down the line, maybe when we have 2-3 people on a Wednesday night, it gets a little old, but you got to go. Once the lights go on, the smoke machine's going. It's time to go, man.
Hey, those 2-3 people still supported you, man. You got to give it back.
You know what? They do. And I've been a little baby bitch sometimes. And, I know it, and over the last few years, I've really reconsidered, you can't show that shit, man, because those kids, they don't see what you're feeling inside. They just want you, just get through the song, man. Do it. Even if you fuck up, it's a live situation. They're there for the moment,
Right on.
and they don't want to see fucking, somebody up there pouting because, there's too much smoke on stage.
Well, I'll tell you what they do want to see. They want to see this new video for Flesh Wounds. So
awesome.
let's go ahead and play it now. Steev, this has been fun. Thank you for joining me and
Chris.
talking a little bit about it. And here it is. It is the world premiere of Flesh Wounds right here on CHRIS Akin Presents. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, brother.
Taking over your body and soul.
of bacon and cheese, now we fail.